Welcome to the Iconics Genesis 64 video guide. This video continues the discussion from Part 1 and Part 2 and covers the basics of controlling the zoom of objects, including fixing an object's size during zooming and fixing an object's position inside layers.
In the previous video, we have seen how to create a simple object on the map. In this case it was the French shape placed on the map. This object had the characteristic to remain fixed in its position when you zoom out of the map. So its dimension changes as long as we zoom out and zoom in. In this video we will see how we can create objects which do not change in size when we zoom in and zoom out. So first of all, let's get rid of this object. So suppose that I want to create a circle on top of Paris to highlight the city position. When I create this object, and let's make it red, and with a thicker border. So this object here, if I zoom in the map, you see that it will become bigger and bigger. This is not what I want for this type of object. It is okay for a country border shape, but it is not okay for an icon which represents a city, for example. So to make this object non-zoomable, as we say, we will have to create a layer to contain it. A layer is a special object which has a few properties, like the NoZoom property, which, if set to true, will make the object inside it not reside when we zoom in and out on the map. So in this case, this object is now inside the non-zoomable layer, so if I zoom out or zoom in, it will not change its size. To perfectly place it on top of Paris, you should better zoom in a lot to find the perfect position and then eventually zoom out again. So, in this case we have created one non-zoomable object. If we want to create another object like this, we can simply drag it by pressing the Ctrl key and put it, for example, on top of London. So now we have two of these objects on the map. But we have to be careful because we still have only one non-zoomable layer. So what happens now is that the system believes that these two ellipses create one single object whose center is probably here near the French coast. So if I zoom out, you can see that these two little circles are not resizing, but they are not even remaining in the position where I placed them. So what I actually have to do is to create another layer, which I set as non-zoomable again, and take one of the ellipses from the first layer and put it in the other layer. At this point I have two objects into two separate non-zoomable layers, and when I zoom out, I get what I want. So when you want to create non-zoomable objects, you will have to place them one per each layer. There are some situations where you want to have more than one object per layer. So for example, suppose that I want to create a label with the city name. I can put it here and say, for example, Paris. And I can make this a little bit bigger, for example. In this case, I want this label to behave the same way as the little circle that is inside the same layer. This may be helpful if you decide to use, for example, the aerial type of map where you have no labels. So in this case, if I pan the map, zoom out or zoom in, this circle and the label will remain in the same position, which is exactly what I want. In the next video we will see some other properties from the layers.